Hello, hello, happy Friday. I'm super excited to come to you today with some mindset strategies to tap into abundance this holiday season. So, the holidays can be a time of so much joy and abundance that can really feed us and elevate us, and, is what life is about in so many ways. Spending time with loved ones, really enjoying life to the full. Of course, it can come with a lot of stresses and additional weight that can sometimes carry that we have to carry during this time of year. So I'm going to share some strategies to help you navigate that with as much strength and resilience and good feeling as possible. Because obviously, money is all about emotions, thought patterns, behavior patterns, self-care, the way we're showing up, the way we're feeling. And money is a conversation that can become a little strained around the holiday season. And obviously, our family relationships, these are things that can trigger us and can especially lead us into old patterning. And so it takes a lot of consciousness to navigate that. And it's all about protecting our emotional well-being, our physical health, our the conversation that we're having with ourselves, our stress levels. And I'm going to go through some strategies in each area that's impacted during the holiday season. So that's emotionally, financially, physically, and familially with our family relationships. So I really hope that this serves you. Just take a couple of nuggets that really resonate with you, where you think, oh, that's an area where I could really use bringing some extra consciousness to during this holiday season. And, don't expect to do it perfectly. We'll just navigate it as best we can and, do the best that we can to enjoy ourselves and really make the most of it. Without putting ourselves under any pressure to make it perfect. So, and I'm also going to take you through a really powerful visioning exercise to set your intentions for the holiday season. So, abundance. Obviously, this is an incredible opportunity to be able to tap into feelings of abundance. Abundance is an emotional state. It's a thought pattern. It's behavior patterns. And, you get to choose in every moment to be in abundance, to be seeing from a perspective of abundance. So my invitation to you is to go into this holiday season, well, I know we're already in it, but really choosing to shift into joy and gratitude, and to set that intention to seep into every experience that you have, no matter if it doesn't go your way, no matter if you face a challenge, and to really see it as an opportunity to be grateful for the friends, family, loved ones, abundance, gifts, food, everything that we have, however limited that may be this time of year. And also choosing to put out what you desire to receive. So, if you're edging into tiredness and stress or any kind of resentment in any relationships or situations, or, having to manage work at the same time as, all of the Christmas duties, whatever holiday it is that you're celebrating, just really being conscious and coming back and setting that intention to, be a creator, be somebody who's putting out joy and gratitude and choosing to celebrate the little things in each moment. So, see as challenges do arise, seeing the opportunity in them to reflect, to heal anything that becomes triggered for you, as an opportunity to start doing things differently and to not fall into a lot of the patterns that can happen, especially when we're spending time with family. So my invitation to you is to see every challenge as an opportunity to recommit to a mindset that serves you. See it as like, going through challenging times of the year where, a lot's going on. See it as an opportunity to almost like be in the mindset gym and even go even deeper, even with more commitment to your mindset practice, rather than seeing it as a time of the year where you kind of slack off your mindset practice because you're so busy and you have other things to do. This is a little egotistical mindset trick that will be played on us all the time, whenever we go into a busy season, whenever things get challenging, at any time of year, it can often be, oh, I don't have time for my mindset practice. I don't have time to do my inner work and to commit to my self-care. No. This is exactly the time when you need to double down, even if it's for 5 minutes, but to do it consistently every single day. Because the more you put into this work, the more you recommit, the easier it will be to navigate, the more smoothly you will get through those busier times of year. So time to double down on your mindset. Really set that intention, because remember that you're doing it for you. Everything that you put into this practice will reap so many rewards for you now and going forward. And of course, keeping that momentum going is the most valuable part of a mindset practice. So notice when those little excuses crop in, like, oh, I don't have time, or, somebody's asked me to do this and I should say yes. Just notice when you're saying yes to other people and commit to saying yes to yourself first and foremost every single day. That's the only way things start to change in your favor. And that doesn't mean that you don't have time or resources. Notice that scarcity conversation. If you're telling yourself, if I don't have time to do my mindset practice, I don't have time to do all these things for my family that I want to do. That is a scarcity conversation. You do always have time for your mindset practice when you choose to make it. You do have time for everything that you choose to do. And if that means setting boundaries, and if that means saying no to a couple of things, recognize when you need to do that. And remember that you are always in charge of your priorities, no matter what your mind may be telling you or the story you may be telling yourself. Any story counter to that is disempowering. So, the more we accept that story, the easier it is to step into discomfort in navigating our boundaries in a new way, whether that's, we've resisted saying no because we don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, because we're in a habit of pleasing others, people pleasing, and recognize that these are the patterns that have to shift, which ultimately serve you and everybody else when you show up for yourself in that way. So, seeing seeing opportunity in each challenge as an opportunity for you to step it up, an opportunity for you to do things differently and to grow and to recommit and double down to the intention and to the mindset work that you are committed to. See each trigger as an opportunity to reflect and to heal something. So, and I'm not saying that you need to go deep and do inner work during this time, just bringing a level of awareness and consciousness to what is triggering you and being really curious and non-judgmental around it. It's all information. So, being with family, obviously that can often be some of the most triggering times, but just see it as like really, really valuable information for you to gather. See what insights you can gather about yourself by the things that trigger you. And I'm not saying you have to, go into trying to shift all of your relationships and, doing all the inner work, but just really bringing a level of conscious awareness, of non-judgment, and, allowing yourself to navigate through the challenges as smoothly as possible. Every time something is asked of you, see it as an opportunity to be generous and to demonstrate abundance, but also see them as opportunities to reaffirm your boundaries with yourself and with the people in your life. So really just bringing that awareness, really checking in with yourself and asking yourself, am I in a conversation of scarcity around being able to give? What would happen if I recognize that I was able to give? Or maybe you are in fact overgiving, and you need to recognize that, and you need to say no to some of the things that are being asked from you. And you're the only one that knows the answer to those things. So just have that awareness, be patient, be really conscious, and just navigate through it with awareness. And obviously, if you slip up, if you make a mistake, you say yes to something, it's okay to go back and change your mind. It's okay to revisit and change your mind on something. If you say no to something and then realize you could have done it, it's okay to go back and say yes. No beat up. We're all, figuring out as we go along. So just, really set that intention for kind, non-judgmental and compassionate awareness with yourself and with those around you. So let's talk about finances. Obviously, Christmas spending puts a little bit of an extra workload on our budget. So my invitation is simply to just consciously choose your thoughts and emotions while you're spending, and just being really present when you're buying and asking yourself, am I buying for the sake of buying? Am I being impulsive? Or am I consciously choosing? Am I setting a really positive intention with this purchase? Am I enjoying it? Really enjoy being able to spend money on the things that bring celebration, bring connection between you and your loved ones, and really choose to be cultivating that good emotion and that abundance and that flow, rather than feeling restricted, being in that conversation of, can I really afford this? Or, being in that conversation of maybe there's not enough, or this is going to be an additional burden. And just notice what conversations are happening in your head when you're going and like handing over your money or your credit card or your debit card or whatever. Notice the thought processes that come up, and choose in that moment, in that moment of purchasing, to say the words to yourself, like, there's plenty more where that came from. I'm choosing to feel grace and humility that I have access to the resources to buy this. I'm so grateful for the money that I get to use to spread love and joy and abundance at this time of year. I'm so grateful that I get to generate money to be able to buy gifts and share experiences with my loved ones. And really tap into that and root into it in all of your actions and all of your decisions. And see it as an opportunity to really cultivate that deep appreciation and gratitude and abundance. And the more we're buying, obviously at this time of year, the more opportunities that provides for us to cultivate those feelings. So really tap into that and make the most of it. And just notice what kind of emotions are coming up too. If maybe there is a constriction, or there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, I shouldn't be putting this on my credit card. Obviously listen to that, like, be conscious, don't spend more than you feel comfortable spending. Be creative, be resourceful, find ways to offer something, of love and appreciation without spending money that you don't feel comfortable spending. But also choosing to be in the conversation of faith and trust in yourself that you are creating that flow of abundance. You are taking action, continuously creating more money. And of course you can pay off your credit cards. Of course, we're going into 2019, you're going to be doubling down on your money mindset work. You're going to be committed to taking those cash generating actions. You're going to be cultivating your mindset, your emotions, your behavior patterns around money, and doing that with consistency and creating results, creating more of an income flow, and doing that successfully, and being able to provide even more abundance, even more joy, and being able to share things with your loved ones because of this incredible work that you're doing, and recognizing all of the everything that you receive from being able to do that, from being able to share abundance, and just really expanding into that story and that feeling and that possibility, and really enjoying it and being rooted in it. It's such a powerful time of year to be able to do that. There's so much celebration, there's so much to celebrate, so much to share, so much connection, so much good feeling. So really juice it up and make the most of it and embody it in every single moment that you can. So, just noticing those little patterns while you're spending, while you're reaching for your wallet. Maybe we have a tendency to contract rather than to feel expansive, and to really shift in those moments and move into expansion. Wherever possible, breathe into it, breathe through any contraction, any worry, any fear, any scarcity conversation, and use it as an opportunity to shift out of that in that moment. So just super laser focused consciousness. So the next part is emotional. Obviously, as you've learned throughout the trainings in this membership, our emotional state is like the key to abundance, to our action taking, to generating money, to allowing ourselves to receive abundance. So it's really important that we take care of our emotional well-being during the holiday season, which, obviously there can be additional burdens that we have to navigate. So I'm going to share with you a few little tools that are really going to support you in being empowered and really owning it during the holidays. So, think about right now, like when you're envisioning your holiday season, whatever you're doing, time with family, maybe you have to do some traveling, whatever activities you have planned, just check in with yourself right now as to what your expectations are currently. Just be honest, just take an honest reflection, feel into it. Are you anticipating tension? Are you anticipating maybe particular family relationships making you feel a certain way? Maybe your boundaries being overstepped, maybe some feeling uncomfortable, maybe feeling tired, maybe feeling overstretched, whether that's physically, emotionally, financially, having to navigate being a space that's not your home, perhaps. And just notice how you currently feel when you're looking forward into your holiday season. No judgment, just be honest. And recognize that you can choose to set the intention of how you think it's going to go. Obviously, we repeat a lot of patterns at this time of year, whether that's the people we're spending time with, the rituals, the family patterning that we drop into sometimes when we all get together. And just recognize that you always have the ability to bring consciousness and conscious intention and to shift that. And it's really powerful for you to set that vision of how you want it to go beforehand. Remember that every year you're different. Every year, every single member of your family is different. You've been through, different things throughout the year. It changes from year to year. So everybody's in a different state. It's ripe for opportunity for things to go the way that would most serve everybody. So, you can choose to set the intention for everything that you'd like to receive from your holiday season. Remember, it's your holiday and you get to decide what you would like to receive and to create that for yourself. So see yourself getting the rest and rejuvenation that you need. See yourself celebrating in the way that you deserve to celebrate and inviting other people to celebrate with you. See yourself making happy memories with your loved ones and really just enjoying being in their presence and being grateful for them, no matter how that goes. See yourself demonstrating courageous acts of forgiveness when you get triggered by family. See yourself giving only what you're prepared to give and asking for support or a break when you need it, and see yourself receiving that. When you ask from a powerful place of genuine expectation of receiving what you're asking for, it's amazing how others will rise to meet that for you. If you're asking from doubt, from fear, from, not really believing that you deserve it, that will change the response that you get. So it's really all about embodying the person who is like unquestioningly expecting to receive everything that she desires to receive from the holiday period, and know that everybody can have that. You can receive all that you desire and everyone else can receive all that they desire. And that is possible. Any conversations about, about that not being possible is a scarcity mindset. So allow yourself to have magical intentions and expectations, because when we shift our energy, when we really embody a different state, it's incredible how we can shift our relationships around us. So, visualize any relationships that tend to be difficult, and see yourself being in that relationship, existing in it in a higher frequency. So see yourself embodying love, forgiveness, generosity, peacefulness. See yourself courageously setting the bar high and showing up from that space in your interactions and holding that space despite the other person's willingness to do so. Nobody can have the power over the way that they make you feel. If somebody's triggering you, if somebody's, not cooperating with you, you are the one that gives them the power to change your state. You always have that control. So whatever it is you need to do, you're checking in with your mindset practice and your vision in the morning, really tuning into those feelings of peacefulness and love, being in a meditative state, doing that in the morning and choosing to check in and continually embody that state throughout your day, makes things a lot easier, despite, and it's incredible when you do that, when you bring that kind of an energy, how that then influences your family around you. If you're stressed, expecting conflict, going in there with the expectation that you're not going to receive what you ask for, that's exactly what you're going to create. So if that's ever been a family pattern for you, choose this year as the time to shift it. and experiment with that and really notice and create that positive feedback with yourself of when you go in there embodying that good energy, how that does shift things and the way that you're feeling when you're asking for things. Notice when that enables your ability to receive and for things to start going your way and for people to cooperate with you. You really are that powerful. But of course it is a practice. So just practice. And being with family it's like being in the mindset gym. It's the best place to practice. It's the best place to just have awareness and see what's going on with us and acknowledging our power to do things differently and making that choice and making those shifts and finding the little ways that we're able to do that more easily. So, so obviously bringing that consciousness to family relationships, because when you step it up, when you're willing to be vulnerable and authentic and compassionate, it makes it easy for the other person to step up too. So give yourself permission to be the leader in your relationships. You're in here, you're doing the mindset work. You are a leader, you are a visionary, you are capable of creating powerful shifts and producing the outcomes that you desire, and recognize that maybe others in your family aren't at the same level as you and maybe aren't doing this kind of a work. So, rather than being lazy and falling into patterns and being in the old story that you don't have influence and, and things are just the way that they are and complaining and being unsatisfied, recognize that you get to choose to be a leader and you get to choose to influence in a really positive way. And you can have the power to create shifts in your family relationships. And it can be done even with the most difficult relationships. Believe me, I have experienced miracles in my family relationships. So, give yourself permission to be powerful and to own that and to really, it's not controlling, but it's really being a leader in creating more forgiveness, more compassion, more vulnerability and authenticity in your relationships. That's something that people really respond to. And when you have the courage to do it, which a lot of people don't, that really sends a very loud message. And it also invites people to step deeper into the relationship with you. And it can be really surprising what happens when you take that lead. So, choose to be the person who leads by example and who is sidestepping your family patterning. And of course, we are human and there's only so much we can take on at a time, but just recognizing that really small actions, doing things differently, choosing to respond in a different way, being conscious instead of being reactive, this is the way that we create change over a long period of time, just in one small step at a time. And doing that with patience and compassion for ourselves and for our family around us. But one way that really helps with this, especially if you have particularly challenging relationships in your family, is to vision in detail what that will look like. Let it play out in your mind and really go there before, like a family event. Set the intention, get into that emotion. Imagine, how wonderful it would be if your relationship played out in a way that was just really fulfilling and loving and celebratory, and everything that maybe it hasn't been in the past that has been dissatisfying and challenging for you. And, if any doubt creeps in, any, voices saying, oh, that will never work, or being cynical, just, choose to be in a place of invitation. And, wouldn't it be nice if, and really release any attachment to the outcome and know that it could still go the same way, and that's fine. But one step at a time, one small energetic shift at a time, you are capable of shifting relationships and you do have that power. Excuse me, let me just turn this off. So visioning is a really powerful way to really set that intention and start to imagine something different that you can then step into and that you can invite your relationships to step into with you. And, obviously being patient and forgiving, having no expectations. Yeah, one small shift at a time. So another really powerful mindset practice when with family is just noticing when triggers come up and being really curious about it. just taking a deep breath, notice your urge to react. And, even just choosing not to react in that moment is a massive victory that can lead to huge shifts down the road. And, choosing not to take on whatever it is that maybe the way that you would normally react, and to stay really rooted in compassion, in forgiveness as much as possible. Of course, forgive yourself if that's not possible for you in that moment. But just allowing yourself to reflect on that moment, what emotions came up for you? What story do you have around that situation that triggered you? And just, write it down, and you can come back to it later when you're doing your mindset work in the future when you have time for yourself. But just see it as, kind of like a field trip. You're collecting information about yourself, about any resistances, any stories, any wounds that you're still carrying. Family are always the ones that will trigger the deepest ones that are most powerful when we go head on to them and we heal them. So there's a couple of tension deflecting phrases, which are a great way to diffuse a challenging situation. One is, I hear you. Because often, what's the phrase? When something like attack is only ever a cry for love. All we want is to be heard, and understood and appreciated. So, even if someone's completely coming at you, instead of launching into defense, just simply saying, I hear you, and notice how that diffuses and kind of can placate any kind of confrontation or any like abrasive emotional attack on you or confrontation. Another really powerful one is, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, because you're not taking it on, you're not accepting what that person is handing to you. But which can diffuse them. You're not defending, which is causing them to rise up and defend and double down and come at you with more intensity. So, those are a couple that you can try out if you do end up in a sticky situation. I hear you, just to diffuse it, and maybe you're right. And then you can just walk away and leave that situation. There's just try not to get wrapped up in any family drama that might be coming up at this time of year. And recognize that you don't need to take it on. You always have that choice. You can choose to embody the state that you want to experience your holiday in. You have the power to control that, regardless as to what's coming at you. And recognize that people are tired this time of year. People are overstretched. You don't know what kind of year people have had. So a lot of the time it's not personal, and just really, remember that with compassion. At the same time, you don't deserve to take on anything that, that you don't need to be dealing with. And you absolutely have the right to walk away and have your boundaries, and to say how you feel, and to be authentic. So yeah, just doing our best is good enough. And then, excuse me. Obviously, physical self-care is really, really important at this time of year. So again, when that comes back to your vision, really take into consideration what you need. Maybe you have a rammed schedule of family events and celebrations and parties, which is great, but that if you're super tired or you're on the slippery slope to getting sick, you're not really going to be enjoying that anyway. So it's okay to say no, and just, look at your calendar, see where you need a bit of white space. If you look at it and you're feeling overwhelmed and tired, just looking at it, just start to put in some little pieces of white space where it's just you, where you're doing some rejuvenating activities, whether that's just staying in bed a few minutes longer, whether it's taking yourself out for a walk, whether it's doing your meditation and your mindset practice, even if it's just for 5 minutes at the beginning of the day. If you don't manage it at the beginning of the day, sneak it in. If you have to lock yourself in a bathroom, and go and do something that makes you feel good, that brings you back to your center. Make a list of like survival tools and strategies that you can lean on in the environment that you're going to be in for the holidays. A lot of the time we're away from home, or we're in other people's homes or locations. There's always a bathroom somewhere if you need a little bit of quiet time. There's always outside where you can go and take some breaths of fresh air, find some space to be alone. Um, 5 minutes sometimes is all it takes of a few deep conscious breaths and just reconnecting and becoming centered, to kind of switch out of that being frazzled and running around and doing a million things. And obviously food is a big thing around this time of year. Give yourself permission to enjoy yourself, enjoy your food, let it feed your soul. I know there's a lot of foods that are not good for our body, but they do feed us in another way, and that we enjoy them and that we get to share them with our families, and it feels really good to indulge from time to time. But just really monitor that, and only monitor how you're feeling, really listen to your body and what it needs, and really choose to honor that. And don't give in to the peer pressure. If everyone else is eating something, you don't have to eat it if you know that it's going to compromise your health. But really choose to deeply be nourished by sharing food with your family, and as much as possible, limit sugar and alcohol intake. These are the most simply powerful, effective tools that you can lean on to take care of your health and well-being during the holiday, and at a time when there is sugar and alcohol in abundance. Just think of some strategies that you can put in place. If that's as simple as having a big glass of water with you at all times, to help stay rehydrated, and to be drinking that instead of just reaching for another glass of alcohol. Just be conscious and recognize when there's sugar in things. And just having that awareness will help you to make a choice. When you're reaching for the table, go for something that doesn't have sugar in it as much as possible, and be eating that if you're going to be eating anything at all. Avoid overeating. Just recognize when you're full. Eat smaller portions, eat less. Give yourself permission to not eat when other people are snacking, because just being really, really stuffed and full from a meal is an extra burden on your immune system, which is already working really hard at this very full time of year. So yeah, just take a moment now to reflect. Just see what things pop to mind when you're thinking about self-care practices that you can commit to that are easy no matter where you are. So if that's taking a journal with you, just writing out your vision for the holiday season, doing some gratitude journaling, recognizing all of the abundance that's in your life and everything that you're grateful for. Doing that for just 5 minutes a day can completely shift and transform your state, your mood, how all of your interactions go that day. It's so, 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 so powerful. So if you need to set, a calendar reminder to get that done every day, even though, your routines are going to be off, maybe you'll be in a different place, maybe your sleep schedule will be different. Find 5 minutes to sneak that in. If that means you have to run away and lock yourself in the bathroom to get some peace and quiet, if that means you do it while there's mayhem going on around you, do it and really commit to it. You get to give that to yourself, and you get to rise above any of the excuses that are cropping up about why you don't have time to do that. See what kind of outdoor activities that you can do. So you're not just, sitting in the house all day. Obviously, get as much movement in as you can. And I know we're almost there, but if for the period over Christmas, you're going to be in somebody's house, or you're going to be in a particular location, get your exercise in the days before you are going on that trip, and schedule some exercises immediately as soon as you get back. So you're not feeling really sluggish and kind of, not really giving yourself the rejuvenation that you need. A lot of the time, there's a narrative around needing to rest. Actually, we spend a lot of time sedentary. So, obviously, depending on what you do for a living, but movement actually creates rest for our bodies. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're working on a laptop a lot of the time, or, you're in your car a lot of the time. So giving yourself movement breaks is actually one of the most restful things that you can do over the holiday period. If that means, you can do a quick yoga video online in your bedroom, or a Qigong video, just for 5-10 minutes, where you're just deep breathing, connecting with your body, moving it, getting things moving. It's a really powerful way to stay energized at a time of year where you're often doing a lot of sitting. Getting outside as much as possible, even if the weather isn't great, take the appropriate outdoor clothing so that you can get outside if you need a break, if you need to get away from, being in crowds of people, or, take your family with you, or if you need to have a break, choose carefully who you want to take with you on a walk, or, be okay with going alone. It's okay to give yourself time alone, even if people give you funny comments, even if people judge you for it or give you a hard time about it. Know that when you come back with better energy, that, they'll be grateful for it too, even if they don't see that. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. If you need to take a nap when there's mayhem going on around you, if that's possible for you, do it. Really give yourself permission to do your thing. I know, if you're here, you're probably sensitive, you're probably a little bit empathic, maybe you're slightly introverted, or somebody who needs to spend a lot of time rejuvenating and recovering. I know that I am. So, and often we can fall into the habit of people pleasing as well, and wanting things to go perfectly, wanting everyone to have a good time, wanting to take care of everyone else feeling good, because you're sensitive to the way that other people are feeling. So, just recognize that that's not really sustainable, and you have to be the one that gives yourself permission to do your thing, regardless of what everyone else is doing around you. So, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's okay. If it makes you feel better and it means you have better self-care and you feel better and you're not spiraling and you're able to come at your holiday and your relationships from a more empowered place, then recognize how important it is to honor your boundaries, despite how uncomfortable it might make other people feel. Give yourself permission to do your thing regardless of what everyone else is doing around you. If you need to say no to another mince pie, say no to another mince pie. If you need to say no to alcohol, say no to alcohol. And yeah, so really just monitoring your food choices, monitoring how you're taking care of your body, drinking lots of water, keeping consumption to a minimum, keeping food choices away from sugar and alcohol. Making sure you've got some salad in there. If you're going to a party and you suspect that there's not going to be any healthy food there, be the person who brings it. Make a big salad, share it for everyone. It will help everyone's digestion. Everyone will feel better for it and be grateful, even if a lot of people don't touch it. So, okay. I'm going to do a visioning exercise for you. So you can just go with the flow, see what comes up for you. And, if you're still in a story of, oh, this isn't going to be possible for me, or, Christmas is going to be crazy. This isn't, I don't have the strength to, influence the outcome. Just, recognize any of those stories that come up for you. And you can come back and do this visioning exercise. Again, repeat it, strengthen that vision, just set that intention. The more you do it, you can repeat it every morning if you want, if it's it's really going to serve you in making the most of your holiday season. So just find a comfortable spot and just close your eyes and relax. I'm going to put some music on for you. So take a couple of really deep breaths. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Just notice your body. You can do a body scan from your head, all the way down through your neck, through your shoulders, down your back, your chest, your abdomen, your belly, your groin, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. And imagine a beam of light coming into the top of your head and filling your entire body with this liquid golden light, pouring all the way through every single cell, all the way down your body, through your legs, all the way through your feet, and all the way deep into the earth, connecting you to that unlimited source of energy and strength right beneath your feet. And continue with your deep breathing. And I'd like to invite you to set the intention for the upcoming holiday season. And just tap into now the emotions that you desire to feel. What would you love to feel during this holiday season? Maybe you'd like to feel some relief. Maybe you'd like to feel some rest, some rejuvenation, some peace and calm. Maybe you'd like to reflect back on everything that you've achieved this year with a real sense of pride and accomplishment and appreciation for everything that you've done for yourself. Maybe you'd like to experience connection and celebration with the people that you love the most. And just allow yourself to start to simmer in all of those amazing feelings. And know that you're inviting them in now. Any other feelings or intentions or words that are popping to mind for you, just allow them to float into your awareness now. And just notice how they feel in your body. Notice how your body feels when you tap into these feelings. And recognize that you have the power to call in these feelings at any moment. And keep breathing really deep into your belly. And just releasing and relaxing any tension that you're holding. Any resistance, any stories about what's possible or what's not possible for you. And just be open to things really going your way. And be open to your intentions coming to fruition. And be open to it being easy. Now set the intention for how you want to experience your relationships this holiday. What do you want to feel? Do you want to feel the love between you? Do you want to have fun and laughter and connection? Do you want to feel a deep appreciation and gratitude for everybody in your life? And do you want to feel deeply appreciated? So set that intention now. Set the intention that you are capable of showing forgiveness, even in the most triggering of situations. And just accept that you are that powerful. And set the intention for how you want to take really, really good care of yourself. For the practices that you will commit to, for the little pockets of time that you will find to nourish yourself and give yourself what you need to be able to show up and fully enjoy your time. And just notice how good it feels. All these emotions in your body. Now I want you to turn up those emotions. Just increase the intensity of all of that good feeling. Notice what sensations you're feeling in your body. Notice where you feel it. Tap into that and turn it up. Create a feeling of expansiveness, of an abundance, of opportunity, of love, connection, gratitude, of celebration. And keep turning up that sensation and that experience. Continue to breathe really deeply. And take a moment to acknowledge how powerful you are. How you can tap into this state in just a split second. And set the intention that you will do that as often as you can. And then let that feeling, that good feeling, drive you and motivate you to continue to tap into these feelings. These feelings of gratitude and abundance, of peace, and feeling really empowered over your emotional state. And just acknowledge yourself for showing up and doing this work. And acknowledge all of the benefits that you're creating for yourself by doing so. And just take another really deep breath into your belly. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice your body and the space around you. Feel the surface underneath you, wherever it is you're sitting. And just start to come back into your body. Take another really deep breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So there you go. And this is, notice whatever minute in this video that this guided meditation is. And you can use this as a tool and a resource. If you want to go and lock yourself in the bathroom, put your headphones in, you're sitting on the couch, and there's whatever's going on around you, just take 5 minutes to just take some deep breaths, tune in to those feelings and those intentions, and just watch how that shifts your state and how that shifts how you're showing up. Such a powerful technique. There are so many meditations on YouTube that you can always pop on, put your headphones in, and just use that as a really, really powerful survival strategy throughout this holiday season. And recognize that these are the types of activities that really create rest, that really create rejuvenation. Aside from a lot of the things that we tend to lean on during this time, like eating, like drinking, like being in lots of activity, like being, in really large groups of people. So I hope that serves you, and wishing you the most wonderful holiday season full of abundance and celebration and time with family and all of the abundance that brings for you. So feel free to share your comments and takeaways from this training, and have an incredible holiday. Wishing you so much love.